How's it going, Guardians? Shifty here, and I'm back with another easy Legend Lost Sector guide. Today, I'm going to be covering the Chamber of Starlight in the Dreaming City. Now, for those of you who don't know, in my easy guides, I try to use loadouts that are easily obtainable, and I don't use anything in my combat mod slot in my armor. My goal here is to try and make the Legend Lost sectors as accessible as possible to as many players as possible. In today's video, I am going to be showing you a full run on a Titan, Warlock, and Hunter. Before I get into my loadout, if you end up enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright, so for my Titan run, I went with Bottom Tree Sunbreaker, and for my exotic, I have Heart of Inmost Light. Then for my Warlock run, I went with Bottom Tree Dawnblade, and I chose Dawn Chorus as my exotic. And finally, for my Hunter run, I went with Bottom Tree Gunslinger, and I'm using Celestial Nighthawk. Next up, my weapon selection. In my kinetic slot, I have the Biting Winds bow, and this is for Overload champions. Then my energy weapon is the new Lawrence Driver linear fusion rifle. I chose this to break void shields, to deal with unstoppable champions, and because it's a great add clear weapon. And finally, for my heavy weapon, I have the Corsair's Wrath solar linear fusion rifle. I'm using this because there are a few solar shields, and solar damage is boosted by 50% due to solar burn. Now, if you don't have this, you could always use a different linear fusion rifle like Tarantula or Threaded Needle. However, those won't get the 50% solar damage boost. If you don't want to use a linear fusion rifle, you could use your favorite rocket launcher, grenade launcher, really any weapon will work here. I do recommend that you try to go for solar damage because of that 50% damage boost. Moving on to my armor mods. They are the same on all three classes, so I'm just going to show you them once on my Titan. To do this, I'm going to quickly show you each piece of armor, and if you need to see anything in more detail, just pause the video. And that's all there is to my loadout. There will be timestamps if you want to skip to a particular run, otherwise, let's jump into it. Alright, so right at the beginning of this lost sector, I like to take out the Taken Goblin up top. This allows me to focus solely on this unstoppable champion here, which I'm going to go ahead and use my linear fusion rifle on. Next up, since I am using Lawrence Driver, I can take out these void shielded acolytes from a distance. If I could hit them, of course. Go for the Taken Hobgoblins up there. Looks like there's another acolyte left down there. Alright, so all I have left is this Solar Shielded Knight. I'm going to go ahead and throw a grenade and hope that hits it. And now we can move on to the next room. In this room, you can see a bunch of Taken Thrall have spawned. And one Lawrence will take that group out. They teleport around so much it's hard to hit them. Either way, I got the second group. When those enemies are down, I typically like to go for some of the enemies in the distance over here by the chest. I also like to include the two hobgoblins on that back ledge. Now we'll see what I can do about this Solar Shielded Knight. Two linear fusion rifle shots took it out. Now there are some more Taken Thrall over there, but I want to go for some of these Taken Acolytes here and attempt to lure out the unstoppable champion. Looks like I do have its attention. I'm going to try a stun here. As soon as that first unstoppable champion went down, more enemies spawned, including another unstoppable champion. As you can see, I backtracked a little bit to lure that unstoppable champion down. That made it pretty easy to deal with. In addition to that second unstoppable champion, the boss spawned as well as an overload champion on that back ledge. You can see it right there. But what I want to do next is focus on some of the enemies off to the right here. Once this area is cleared out over here, I'm going to kind of hug this right hand side. I'm going to wrap around to this area where I'm going to focus on this overload champion. Now that the overload champion is down, we're free to go for the boss. So I'm going to go ahead and use a couple linear fusion rifle shots on it. And I'm going to go ahead and use my super as well. Bottom tree hammers makes quick work of this boss. And with the damage reduction from my super, I'm going to go ahead and grab the chest. And there we have it. That was a platinum completion of the Chamber of Starlight Legend Lost Sector on a Titan. Now I'm going to show you a full run on a Warlock and a Hunter. Alright, so you may notice this run is going to be quite similar to my Titan run. I went for the Taken Hobgoblin up top first, and then I went for the Unstoppable Champion. Just like then, I can sit back here and take out a bunch of enemies with Lawrence Driver. Now when we push into this room, you can see the Unstoppable Champion over there. We want to deal with these Taken Thrall first. Now that the two groups of Taken Thrall are gone, looks like we have a straggler actually. I'm going to go for the enemies in the distance here, over by the chest. Including the two Taken Hobgoblins up on the ledge. And this Solar Shielded Knight as well. See if I can take out any of the remaining Taken Thrall that are over there. Alright, and now the Unstoppable Champion is right there. Looks like I got its attention. I'm going to go ahead and stun it. Then as soon as that's down, another Unstoppable Champion will spawn and some additional enemies as well. You could also see the boss spawned in the middle of the room as well. So the Unstoppable Champion is stunned. For that part, I backtracked a little bit to make that Unstoppable Champion a little bit easier. I did not mean to hit the overload up there. But now that the boss is the only thing left over there, I'm going to hop over this rock and take out some of the enemies off to the right. And when the right hand side is cleared out there, I'm going to run up here and use this as cover to take out the Overload Champion. As you can see, the Overload Champion is right there. Put a few linear fusion rifle shots in, swap back to the bow to prevent healing. Unfortunately, I'm not hitting my linear fusion rifle shots. I'm trying to crit, but I only hit body shots, so... And now that the overload is down, we can go ahead and go for the boss. So you can sit back and linear fusion rifle it, or you can head forward after breaking the shield and use your super instead. So I went ahead and used my super, and the damage reduction from my super will allow me to go straight for the chest. And there we have it. That was a platinum completion of the Chamber of Starlight Legend Lost Sector on a Warlock. Now all I have left to show you is a run on a Hunter. Alright, so now that the Taken Hobgoblin is down, I want to go for this Unstoppable Champion off to the right. So this run is going to look quite similar to my Warlock and Titan run, but people like to see completions on their own specific class, so I'm here to deliver that. All I have left is the Solar Shielded Knight, so we're going to finish that off right now. And move on to the next room. First group of Taken Thrall gone, and the second group is almost gone, but I have to go for this one with my bow. Next up, some of these enemies in the distance. Go for this Solar Shielded Knight by the chest. 2 linear fusion rifle shots was enough. There are some Taken Thrall over there yet, so I have to be careful. Until they show up, I'm going to go for some of the acolytes over here. I did get the attention of the Unstoppable Champion, so I'm going to focus on that now. And now the other Taken Thrall decided to show up. Gonna finish off these Taken Thrall here. Not trying to stun the Overload, I'm just trying to take out the regular Taken Hobgoblin up there. But now I want to jump over this edge and go for some of the enemies over here. Take out that Acolyte Eye. I am a little bit low on ammo, but we should be alright. So on this right hand side, I'm going to go ahead and go for this Overload Champion. If I could hit the crits, that would go a little bit better. There we go. And with my final Lawrence Driver shot, I'm going to go ahead and break the shield on this boss. And I'm going to go ahead and super it as well. I'm going to try to rush the chest. If I die, that's alright. And there we have it. That's a platinum completion of the Chamber of Starlight Legend Lost Sector on a Hunter. I hope that you enjoyed this guide, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe. I just want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.